what's going on, guys? Shake and Bake back, and we are so close to 2K19, man. It is right on the rise. It's this close. And today we got more My Team news. We got some news on the actual $250,000 tournament, My Team Unlimited. It's crazy. I don't even know if I just said unlimited or I said unlimited, but it's gonna be wild. Now, we don't have all the rules or everything like that, but we can speculate, and based on what we've given, I wanted to at least update you guys, because that's what you guys come for me, My Team news. You want to hear all about it, and yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to talk about it. Now, let me start this off by saying, if you are not 18 years or older, you won't be competing in the tournament, or, I mean, maybe I don't know if you can compete in it. I mean, you won't be winning it, which is sad, so I would hope you couldn't compete in it if you can't win in it. Like, they should have a way to, like, you have to, like, do an age check to get in, maybe. That'd be kind of nice, because, like, there's no point in ruining other people's experience if you can't win. You know, if you understand what I'm saying. But if you're under 18 and you can't play, you can't win, they can't give all this money to someone who's a minor and things like that. I think tax reasonings too as well. So yeah, you just can't win. A lot of major sweepstakes and things like that are like that. And I'm not really too shocked about that. I mean, that does chop out a lot of players, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, man. I'm pretty sure it was like that with the 2K League as well. And there are also area restrictions. Now, these aren't too drastic, but there are a few states that are banned from competing. So now it says if you're from the 50 states besides Arizona, Maryland, Connecticut, North Dakota, and is there anything else? I think that's it from the 50 states of America. So pretty sweet stuff. That does chop out a couple of states, but those are states that don't like, they don't follow like gambling and a lot of other like pretty common regulations. Like they don't allow FanDuel and a lot of stuff like that, and they're not, it happens with a lot of things like that. So it's kind of unfortunate if you do live in one of those areas. You won't be able to compete, you won't be able to win. Again, I mean, it chops it down, but I don't know how really much it does chop down the pool. There's still going to be hundreds of thousands of people probably going for this, at least I'd say. So, whew, it's going to be a doozy. They've kind of broken it down for us how the tournament's going to be structured and things like that. It reminds me again of the 250K. I think they did, it was 250K. The Pro-Am tournament they did a few years ago. Oh, what, 2K16, 15? I don't even remember. It's been a really long time. But it has shades of that in it, where basically it's going to eventually be a 32 team. I mean, not team, because there's just one player per team, I guess. So 32 people going at it. That makes more sense. 16 on each side of the bracket. I think 16 from each console. So I think there'll be a PS4 side and an Xbox side on one. And then they meet up in the middle, and they're going to be playing on the Xbox One in the finals, because there's a deal with Xbox and 2K this year, it looks like. I mean, Giannis, they have their exclusive Xbox that they're selling, which is crazy. Pretty sure even if you do make the finals, you can use a PlayStation controller. Like, they have adapters and things like that. So, I wouldn't be too worried about that, but definitely a little bit of an advantage to the Xbox players, probably. They won't have to even deal with that. Just, you're on Xbox the whole time. But, yeah, that said, let's talk about how you actually qualify. How do you get to be one of the 16 lucky people who will compete for a crazy amount? Even by just making the finals, you're guaranteed, I think it says, at least that average prize value of like $5 grand. So that is kind of nice. Even if you do lose, you do still get something. So yeah, pretty sweet. I think you still get something, but you don't get 250K. I don't think you get a trip to the All-Star game. So you do miss out on a lot if you get second place. It's crazy how, like, even if you make it all that way, just a second, man, that's a rip. I'm not gonna lie. But let's talk about how you get to be one of those 16 from your team for your little console, if this makes any sense. So they're going to be qualifying weekend game day competitions, and that's going to be from 10 a.m. Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific, which, if we're on the East Coast, which I am, that's going to be what? Add 3 hours to each of those. So that'll be from what? 1 to, oh Jesus, man, this math is way too much for me right now. 1 to 5, I think? 4-hour window, I just know that, but yeah. And you can do the math for all your other time zones. On Saturdays, I think it's going to be. It says the first one is going to be in October, which is pretty crazy. That's soon. It's not like that's a long time to prep for this. Our first day is October 13th, so yeah, you get about a month of prep time before you start competing. So really, it gets you right into it. And then the competition ends on February 13th. I think that's the final qualifying weekend. And it seems like they're going to pick one guy from each console every qualifying weekend. And I think that would make 16 weeks up until that time. I think that's how it's going to go. That makes sense numbers-wise, I think. Because it's about a couple months. 16 is about 3-4 months. So, yeah, not that bad. My math skills are being tested today. But, so now what is exactly going to happen during these 4-hour qualifiers? It just says on here, this is the only information they give us about this, is that your games have to start before this time zone. Like, it has to start before the lower end, which was 10 Pacific, and it has to start before the top end of it, which was 2. So that means, like, if you're in your final game, it has to start before 2 o'clock. Like, so after 2 o'clock, it's the cutting point for the day. The games are over. You're done competing. So it's only a 4-hour window, which isn't crazy long. So it's not like you're going to be playing 30, 40 games on a Sunday, or like Weekend League or some other things we've seen on other Ultimate teams. You're going to be playing probably maybe 6 to 10 games at most, I think. Even then, that's like people rage quitting and you're blowing dudes out. And like, yeah, you have to get pretty lucky, but that's what this is going to come down to, I think. I remember back when they did the Pro-Am tournament, it came down to a couple things, like how high ranked was your opponent's team. Like, did they rage quit? What was the margin of victory? So, like, the difficulty, again, the overalls and things like that. So, like, there's a lot that's gonna go down to this. It might even, like, it might actually, like, encourage you to play with, like, a worse team. We don't know yet. So, man, it's gonna be crazy, but yeah, that's what it's gonna come down to eventually. We'll probably find more about that, whether it's like, hey, you have to, you know, go undefeated in this time, or hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, and maybe there's further breakdowns and stuff like that, further competitions, but it looks like for now, it's just gonna be, hey, whoever's the winner for that day is chosen for the console, and that was not the greatest system, just from, like, the Pro-Am one was kind of iffy, like, there was a lot of good people getting snubbed, I remember back in the Pro-Am tournament, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case again with this tournament. Now, there will be, again, you can compete every Saturday, and I don't think you'll have to compete every Saturday. Like, obviously, if you make it, you don't have to try it anymore. You don't have to keep making it. Probably can't, actually. It's probably against the rules. But, yeah, that's how it's going to go. We don't know too much about it, but we do know that right now. That is always confirmed, pretty much. It also talks about the finals, which is kind of interesting. Again, played on the Xbox One. It will be a best of 3, so it's not just one game. So I guess you do get 2 shots to at least redeem yourself and win at least a game, which I don't even really know that that's worth. But it will be live streamed on the 2K channels, and yeah, man, it'll be the week before in, I think, New York, probably where they do the 2K League stuff. So pretty crazy, like big stage. The pressure is on. So that will be it. Again, 250K, and okay, so both finalists do get the trip to the All-Star Weekend. Now that I'm reading it, I didn't read that properly, and you get tickets to all the events. So that's the $5,000 of value that you get. So even if you make the top 2, you're still gonna get to go to All-Star Weekend, have a crazy time there. So okay, because they didn't clarify that when the information first came. I thought it was just one person goes, but it will be 2. So that's the value you get, even if you're just making the top 2. Again, one guy from each console, PS4 and Xbox. So yeah, you gotta be the best player, literally the best player on your game system. Full rules will come out eventually, and I also forgot to mention that Canada is fine to enter, and so are like other countries like Germany and a whole bunch. They listed all of the countries they can compete from, but if you live, I guess, in Quebec, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, in Canada, you actually can't compete, which is strange. They must have some weird laws. Again, certain areas have laws like that, and you can't gamble, and you can't, you know, enter the lottery and things like that. Like there are certain places that do that. So, yeah, you can't enter competition and stuff like that. It's been like that forever. So, yeah, kind of sucks if you do live there and any other ones. I also would assume, I don't know if Belgium was on the, what's it called, the list of countries. I don't think it was. And, like, them and 2K right now, they're, like, battling it out over the pack odds and all this other stuff. So I would assume they're not going to be able to play as well. But that's not confirmed. So don't take my word for it. But I would, if you're in Belgium, you're kind of getting screwed this. But that's really all we have to say. The tournament looks crazy, man. Like, I don't know. Like, you are going to have probably the best team. You're going to have to know the sweatiest plays, the best ways to score, the best ways to defend, man. I don't know. This is going to be crazy. There will be further rules and details, and I'll try and bring you those if I think they're groundbreaking enough that I have to make another video on it, because I know you guys are going to want to be competing, and I hope one of y'all wins. Psych! I want to win. Probably not going to win, but it would be cool. As I said before, I'm definitely not going to dedicate, like, all my time to trying to win this, because, again, the odds, very, very low. Like, I probably have a better chance of buying a lottery ticket and actually winning $250,000 than I do of winning this tournament against well over 100,000. I probably get better odds at playing some scratch tickets or something like that. So yeah, or just buy packs. I don't know. Yeah, so we will compete. We'll try. I mean, until it's maybe too sweaty that my heart gives out or something. I don't know. But yeah, 2K19 coming out tomorrow. Yes, there will be videos and stuff like that. I got another video coming later today, just on some things I'm excited for. And, yeah, I'm going to get you guys all the tips, everything you need to know about my team, and I'm going to have content rolling, flowing, whatever you want to call it, what other kind of verbs or words, adjectives you want to describe it with. But, yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the quick video, letting you know about the tournament and stuff like that. We got the details today, so I figured I would, yeah, let you guys know and break it down for you guys, just in case you didn't want to read it or you saw some confusing stuff going around, but I might have not been that concise as I probably could have been, so... hopefully you understood me, though. Peace out, man.